This drink, I like it. Another! Well guys, we have reached the halfway mark on this MCU Rank Cosplay Challenge, and it feels appropriate that in the middle spot is one of the most middle-of-the-road movies possible. Now, that doesn't mean bad, it just means it's exactly what you expect this movie to be, especially around the time it came out. I quite enjoy the first Thor movie. I think the casting is excellent. I love the design. I think Asgard looks great. I wish we spent more time there. One of the major issues is we don't really get to know Asgard that much because we don't spend much time there. We spend far more time on Earth. Boring old Earth. And a really boring part of Earth as well. Just a small town in the desert. That being said, the whole what would happen if this landed, people crowding around trying to lift it, that's exactly what would happen. And then that entire sequence where Thor is breaking into the shield base to retrieve Mjolnir and he can't lift it is brilliant. However, this is where I'm struggling. Do I give this movie bonus points for introducing my favourite character, Hawkeye, or do I dock points from this movie for doing nothing with Hawkeye? He doesn't even get to do anything. I do love that line, "You better call it Coulson, I'm starting to root for this guy." I like that. We get a little glimpse of Hawkeye's humour, but just let him fire one arrow, please. Even if it bounces off Thor. This really was the start of the mistreatment of Hawkeye. But anyway, back to Thor. Anyway, this is a review about Thor. God, this hammer is heavy. I can barely lift it. I really like the side characters. I really like Selvig. I really like Darcy. It really annoyed me that everyone hated on Darcy at the beginning and it is now like, oh yeah, Darcy, we love Darcy from WandaVision. You all hated her in Thor and Thor 2. I actually always enjoyed that character. She's far more engaging than Natalie Portman's Jane Foster. I mean, that was just always going to be a bit of a thankless role. I really want to see Natalie Portman actually give her a game in Thor Love and Thunder. The start of Loki's vengeful sort of like personality and spirit comes through really well in this film. Him manipulating both sides is perfectly done with the Frost Giants and Odin. The whole waiting until Odin goes into Odin's sleep, that is classic Thor comics. Like, much like the Incredible Hulk, this is exactly the film you expect it to be, and it doesn't disappoint. However, it doesn't do anything particularly remarkable either. It spends a lot of time on Earth, a lot of time with, you know, the fish out of water stuff. Not enough time in Asgard, not enough time with the Frost Giants. I would also argue not that much action goes on, and therefore the pacing of this movie can kind of drag. They also criminally underused Sif and the Warriors 3, and this is a theme that goes on throughout the entire Thor franchise. They're underused in every single Thor film, and sadly that's one of the things that isn't rectified later on in Ragnarok. If anything, it's made worse. I would have loved to see more of Sif, the Warriors 3, and Thor fighting alongside each other and seeing their unique battle styles a bit more. We see it a little bit in the beginning, but as an introduction to Thor and his ego and how he has to be taken down a notch, and Loki's turn to villainy and his jealousy, it does that all really, really well. I think the theme with the Thor film is it's exactly the middle of the road film you think it's going to be. So congratulations guys, you made it halfway through, let's keep going.